Hey, it's Nate coming to you again with a quick coaching chat here on a Tuesday, a bonus episode. We're going to be continuing to work on these for the time being. They'll air on Tuesdays in addition to our regular full-length episodes on Thursdays. So the topic that I want to talk with you about today, and I will leave you with an action step, is one that's been on the show repeatedly. You know, oftentimes I'll have an expert on at the end of the discussion. I've asked, what's the thing that you would recommend people focus on in order to get the most bang for the buck, or the best place that they can start from in order to improve their health? What's the thing? And of course, I've loved their responses, but one that has come up multiple times and one that I personally think about every single day is sleep. Giving attention to sleep, giving attention to, our sleep hygiene, kind of cleaning it up, looking at specific things that influence our sleep and how we can benefit from it. So one of the things that I have recommended that people do, first of all, is making sure that they are getting access to the situation in which they can get a sufficient amount of sleep. Now, I continue to talk to people who tell me that they don't need a lot of sleep or whatever the case may be. But here's what studies show is that you need about 8 hours of sleep if you're an adult. And I found that to be the just about the magic number for me. And I think that it probably is for you too, whether you're willing to admit it or not. So here's the recommendation that I'll have for you. And this is gonna seem overly simplistic, but this is where my mind goes every single time I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep. Okay? I know this, like I said, this is going to seem maybe a little bit silly, but this is the thought process. I'm just going to explain it to you. It's super simple, and maybe it's something you already do. Great. Maybe sleep is locked in for you, and you're feeling good. You're getting enough. That's awesome. But here's what we need to do, right? If I know that I need 8 hours of sleep, and I know what time I have to get up in the morning in order to do the things that I want to do, in order to be the person that I want to be, in order to show up in the places that I need to show up. I know what time I have to get up in the morning. Then what I must do, if I'm going to make sure that I'm getting sufficient sleep, is I have to make sure that I am in bed 8 hours before the time that I have to get up. Right? So it's just simple math. So I know for me, that's about 5 o'clock a.m. So what does that mean? That means I have to be in bed by 9 in order to get even access, right? Even to have hope of getting a sufficient amount of sleep. I have to make sure that I am in bed by 9 o'clock. That's 8 hours, right? Super simple, I know. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is take a look at your routine and see how it fits, see how it matches up with that math problem, right? 8 hours. And the thing is, if we're not giving ourselves access to 8 hours of sleep, then we're not going to be getting what we need. And we've talked on the show before too about all the complexity, all the things that result from not getting enough. And it's more than just feeling tired, right? Something that has come up, it's come up again and again as I work with clients is, I'm not making good decisions, or I'm feeling very anxious, I'm feeling stressed out. Toward the end of the day, it's harder for me to make healthier choices. I'm making less healthy choices. One of the things that we work on is taking a look at sleep. Are you rested enough? Because if you're not rested enough, what's likely to happen? We know that we tend to lack a little bit of self-regulation, right? Or sometimes a lot of it when we get tired. We know that with kids, right? Oh, Johnny needs a nap, right? That's why he's acting like this. well, as adults, maybe we don't act out in the same way, hopefully, but there's still consequences, right? There's results from not being sufficiently rested, and sometimes that's one of them, is just not making decisions the same way, not making as healthy of decisions, making the healthy decisions that we know that we want to make. So give some attention to that. I'm going to encourage you to put that action step into practice. One thing that recently has come into my life that has helped my sleep, and I'll tell you the story, the roundabout story, and how this got started. But it's a product called Magic Mind. And I'll tell you about it. So as a result of having a podcast, health focused, once in a while I have companies that reach out to me to try their products, and Magic Mind was kind enough to be one of them, right? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Like I looked at it. It wasn't anything, that I was personally opposed to trying. And so I did. Now, the product is designed to help to replace the coffee in your life. And one of the ways that it does that is through different ingredients that help you to have more focus. And so as a result, I got it, I put it on the shelf, and I just left it there. So I was like, yeah, I feel like I have a good amount of focus. I know I want to try this product at some point. And so what I realized though one day was that way back when I used to use pre-workouts, okay? And if you're not familiar with those are usually, they're powders, you mix them with water. They have a ton of caffeine. And the idea is you take it before your workout, you get all psyched up about your workout, right? Because you have this huge rush of caffeine into your body. And I used to use that, and I used to have some really nice workouts using it. But of course the caffeine started to affect me. I started to have some issues as a result of consuming so much caffeine. So I took those out, and I really haven't used. I've tried a few caffeine-free pre-workouts over the years, but I work out every single day, and some days, you do it, but you're just not feeling the focus that you want to feel. And so I thought, you know what, a great use for that, for the Magic Mind, might be to use that as a pre-workout. Now, what these are is they're little kind of little vials, little bottles, shot-sized bottles with this green stuff in them. And it tastes a little bit like minty apple to me. So not unpleasant, definitely better if you cool them. So I started to use it before my workout. And, at first I was like, yeah, I feel like it is helping me be more focused. And it could be the placebo effect, right? But here's the thing that did happen that surprised me. I started to notice that I was sleeping better. Honestly, really sleeping better. And once in a while, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, right? But what I noticed is I was able to just fall back to sleep more easily. And this is normal if you take a look at any of the research that is done on some of the ingredients, including the lion's mane mushroom and the cordyceps mushrooms that are part of the Magic Mind formula, is that you can expect to have less feelings of anxiety and actually better sleep. And I found that to be very, very true. So anyway, so what I got set up is a link and a code for you to get a discount. You can get 20% off in order. And for the next 10 days, you can get 50% off if you set up a subscription for the product. So it's there. If you want to give it a try, here's what you do. You go to magicmind.com/Nate Sleger, NateSleger. And you can get up to 50% off your subscription. So the link will get you the 20% off, 50% off a subscription if you set it up with the code HealthShow20. The code HealthShow20. at magicmind.com/Nate Sleger. So check out the product. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to know how you enjoy it. Anyway, happy that we got those deals set up as well for you as a listener. So, but let's go back to the main topic, right, of sleep. I just told you about a little trick, right, that helped me to benefit in my sleep, and that's fine. And there are lots of those little things that we can find that can help us. But the main thing that we're talking about here is just to make sure that you have access to the right amount of sleep, making sure that 8 hours is your target and you're getting yourself in bed 8 hours before you have to wake up. I know it sounds so simple, but that is the action step that I want to encourage you to work on for this next week. Just making sure that bedtime is set. And maybe that's the alarm. That's more important than the wake up alarm, is setting an alarm when you need to go to bed, or making a point of it. Making sure that you have access to the sleep you need to be the healthiest version of yourself day after day. I would love to know how it goes for you. I want to know. So please feel free to continue the conversation. You can send me a DM on Instagram, and the link that I mentioned for the discount on the Magic Mind product, the link to my Instagram, those are waiting for you in the show notes if you want to go there. Thanks so much for being here with me on the Begin Within Health show. Don't forget, we've got a full episode coming up on Thursday, so check it out there. I'll talk with you again soon.